I'm going to be talking today about HR, staff engagement and the use of social media, and I think in all sectors, the big challenge for us in all sectors is about engaging our staff more effectively. And my sense is that people in the public sector, organisations in the public sector, have got quite a conservative approach to social media. They're fearful of it. So one of the things I want to be doing today is breaking some of those myths to encourage a much more permissive approach to social media, because I believe that if public sector organisations engage with social media, that we'll be able to drive staff engagement, and if we get better staff engagement, we get better patient care. Well, I think the higher education sector, like other parts of the public sector, I think is caught in this sort of bit of a mindset about social media. So there's been some issues where it's been used inappropriately by members of staff, and therefore organisations try and sort of close down their use of the social media. But in the meantime, our staff are engaging with it, and certainly in higher education, students are engaging with it. So I think that people that are using it progressively in the private sector are using it to engage with their customers, students, and their staff, people that work with them. You know, the sort of separation between the sort of work-life balance is shifting now. It's more about a work-life flow, and when people engage with it is different to how we see more traditional media. So we, as public sector organisations, higher education, has also got to adapt to that as well. I'd like to see HR practitioners really engage with this issue. My sense is that people look at social media and think it's a comms issue or a marketing issue, and to some extent it is. But this is really about changing the way in which we work. This is about a fundamental look about how we engage with our staff, and surely it should be the HR professionals that's leading that debate and engagement. We can hide behind the sort of issues about comms and risk and reputational management, and there are some issues there. We've got to overcome those. But far more importantly, if we don't change the way we work to embrace social media, we're going to lose out on a huge advantage that we could magnify in the public sector if we just used it well. In terms of a response to what I'm going to say today, I really hope that HR professionals, HR practitioners sort of see the sense of the sorts of myths I'm talking about. They'll recognise them in their own organisations, and I think that they'll recognise how to overcome them. So the response I'd really like to see today is people that pick this issue up of social media, take it out of the comms and the marketing department in higher education institutions, in our public sector organisations, and grasp it and show some sort of leadership around this issue, because I think there's a fantastic opportunity for HR to show leadership in this really important issue. And again, if we can engage our staff better, we're going to get better customer services. I think there are a number of key issues facing large organisations in the year ahead, particularly in the public sector. One of the things that faces is the financial challenge. People talk about that being here for a generation to come. That's going to fundamentally change the way that we work. But we've also got rising customer expectations and rising demands from people that use public services. And also we've got a staff that are much more sophisticated about what they want from work. And I think that if we use social media wisely, we can take some of these sort of challenges and turn them into opportunities, just looking at a different way in which we engage with staff. I've said in an article recently that using social media for management is really the new management by walking about. So I'm not saying it replaces face-to-face discussions with staff, of course it doesn't, but the amount of people that we can reach through social media is extraordinary, and I think if we don't take advantage of it, we're going to lose the opportunity that we have in this time of challenge. There's a huge opportunity here for HR professionals and practitioners to help organisations innovate in this area. This is about changing the way that we work, and we have to move social media away from sort of comms and the marketing departments in organisations and see this as a business opportunity. HR is first and foremost a business function, and if we see the opportunities that's available for us in social media, then we'll change the way that we work to adopt to those. I think that the private sector is much more liberal in the way that it's using social media. They see the risks, of course they do, but they see the benefits far outweigh those risks, and we don't see it that way in the public sector. This is just such a fantastic opportunity for HR professionals to take that agenda, show some leadership in this arena, and then run with it.